Yippee-ki-yay, baby. I said it 2 videos ago, I said maybe we are getting ready for a final pump to the upside, and also explained you exactly why. Then the video after said Bitcoin is now or never, we need to start pumping, and we talked about the idea of getting one dump down, liquidate all the early longers and then to go higher, and that is exactly what happened. We had all of our lows, they have been then taken out by this big red wick. I also said in the last video I don't really like it because it happened during the Asian session, but we bounce off exactly from that thick yellow line, and if we then go back in time you can see that that was exactly the bottom of this smaller trading range. So we also took the liquidity out of that area and then to move higher, but like I said, that was the Asian session, not really my favorite. Then during the New York session we dumped down one more time, took that liquidity from the Asia longs, and then we went higher, and I also took that long trade and already took profits on that trade. And then we started squeezing to the upside and just taking all of that short money from the top, because if we have liquidated the bottom then only the top is left, and that is exactly what we did. And then we just start moving to the top, and then we had a rejection, and that rejection was exactly from the value area low of this bigger range. I missed it because it was middle of the night for me. So it happened during the Asian trading session, and then you can see that we're just going lower. I also put in this little bit of a thinner yellow line earlier this week, and I said that is now first the level to break if we want to go higher. Well, we broke it then on the pump, and then we found support now twice in a row. Now I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the fact that we are retracing so much of the move to the upside. If you want to go higher, then you really want to see a quick follow-up and us to go higher much faster, and not to retrace also so deep. So now we have a trace until the 78.6. Not all too pretty, but on the higher time frame we have changed market structure to a slightly bullish tone, meaning that we had a high, doesn't really matter which one we're taking. Let's say we're just taking this one, high, then low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and now for the first time a higher high. So now you want to see that higher low so that we can have that continuation to the upside. Now the fact that we rejected from this value area high, that was our first short trade that we were able to take. Like I said, I didn't take it because it was in the middle of the night for me. If you did, then congratulations, don't forget to take some profit. That was the short number one, retest of the value area low to then go lower. The second one was to take out the liquidity of this triple high. Let me mark it here on the chart. So there was then this high, this high, and this high, and then maybe into the golden pocket, because as we are also moving down on price, we are making this low, then of course also we need to adjust our fib retracement, and then you can see that we're also going lower. If we are now able to bounce up and go higher, then of course this high that we put in during the Asian session, 30,050. 30,050. We need to break that to now create that higher high. And then of course I'm looking at that almighty golden pocket, 30,600 to 30,700. Golden pocket, take out liquidity, take out these highs also, where you can see that I have marked the highest high on 30,445. After that we still have the value area high at 31k, and then eventually this top. But let's first see if we can reach that 30,600, 30,700, which in the macro would then create a lower high. So if we zoom out to other time frames, 4 hour or the daily, then of course you have your high right here. Then we're going all the way down, and eventually we are creating that lower high to then dump down. That is really my preferred scenario, but we also need to accept the fact that we might not get it. If we even go higher, that's completely fine, but right now we want to see follow through. We need to go higher. It needs to happen very fast. If we're losing the 78.6 where we are currently bouncing off from, then actually I also think that we are going to take out this low that we created, at 28,560, and then eventually I think there's just no bottom anymore. Then we're just going much and much lower, because how many swing failed patterns, how many SFPs of the lows can you have? We had now I think approximately 10 or something all the way to the downside. There is something that I do want to show you, and that is that if we're zooming out here on the daily, you can also see that we are just bouncing off here from the macro value area high and also this very low. So actually it is a perfect bearish retest. We're also getting that red dot now on the daily. Money flow is lower, VWAP is lower, so it doesn't look all too pretty. You can also see that the volume here on price is already completely dying out. So yeah, if I would be completely new, then I would say, you know what, this is just setting up to go much lower, and the target then is still 26k. But there's actually something that I want to show you, and it looks like, oh, that's the wrong one, and it looks like that we are creating ourselves a bit of a falling wedge, and usually that is a bearish pattern, sorry, a bullish pattern, where we're just constantly making lower lows, and eventually we are breaking up to the upside, and then the target is actually the top. The same kind of pattern we've also seen here. We have those tops just constantly grinding lower, constantly taking out the lows, and then eventually you have that bigger move to the upside where everyone is getting super bearish. Then eventually you have that move to the upside. Same here, only then on a much smaller time frame. Everyone is getting pretty bearish. We are underneath the value area high on the macro, underneath the value area low of the smaller range. We are barely making right now a higher low on the smaller time frame, like I said, 78.6 currently. So yeah, it would actually be super nice to get a squeeze to the upside. There is a lot of reason to do so, like I said, because of the liquidity. But of course this will not repeat itself endlessly, so we also need to take into account that there are two scenarios. Like I said, I missed the short, therefore I would be looking now out for 2 trades if you are not in a trade. And I'm going to zoom in on the 15 minute. So our target would still then be acceptance within the range and then going higher. But let's say that we can't find acceptance. Let me quickly put that volume node back here on the screen. That's a little bit easier to see what we're looking at right now. So like I said, I do not want to see really a close or a loss of that 78.6. A wick is fine because we already made so many. So if we are making one more wick to the downside to then go higher, that will be okay. But actually you do not want to see a hourly close underneath the 78.6, which is currently at 28,880. If we do so, we're going to take out this low, and then we're just going to zero, lights out, it's over. If we are going higher from here, then I would also be looking for a short if we reject from the golden pocket 29,600, 29,650, because you are then also making a lower high, and that is then eventually your confirmation, your bearish retest. Then you can also just short the farm, because then again we're also retesting here that value area low. So yeah, then it's just absolutely game over. So if we are now going higher, we cannot stop here at the golden pocket 78.6. we need in one go to squeeze higher and to take out this high, if else it is absolutely over. If we are now so first going down, that will be then my first long, and then if we are going higher, that will be the short. So long from this bottom right here, or the current level if you think that we are going higher, or short from this. But like I said, I really hope actually that we are squeezing higher, because there are so many bad tops. If we are suddenly dumping down, so there's just no support, then actually I want to see something like a bearish retest. I will not get into a dump, that is actually a little bit of suicide, but something like this would actually be very nice. Confirm that support and resistance that we now already tapped a few times as confirmed support and resistance, so support flipped into resistance, and then I will get in on the retest. And then will then be a significant trading size, because yeah, then we're just constantly making lower highs, and we're just really breaking market structure, and then I'm really aiming for 26,000. So that will be it for now. Stick to the charts, don't front run it and jump into a trade. You know now which levels I'm looking out for. We had our final pump. It was a little bit weak. I was actually hoping for more, but it doesn't mean it's over as long as we are now just holding that higher low and that we can keep continuing with this slightly bullish market structure on the smaller time frames. That will be it for now. If you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share the video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are also in the description. See you guys very, very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.